Every health journey starts with one single decision. It's that moment you decide you want something different for yourself. A reflection in the mirror, struggling to climb a flight of stairs, waking up with a desire for more energy and strength. The starting line is full of potential, full of hope, and the promise of a better future. But many make a critical mistake here, sprinting from the start, thinking the race is already won. The narrative: a dramatic overnight change, extreme diets, grueling workout routines, before and after photos promising miracles in weeks. The allure of intensity is powerful. We buy the expensive gym membership, then the fire dies out. We end up exhausted and back where we started. Imagine two people. The first person is all about intensity. On Monday, they jump into a brutal 2-hour workout, pushing their body to the absolute limit. They run faster, they lift heavier. They finish feeling exhausted but satisfied. But by Tuesday, their muscles are screaming in protest. They are too sore to even think about working out. They take the rest of the week off to recover, promising to hit it with the same intensity next Monday. This is the path of intensity. It's a cycle of extreme effort followed by long periods of doing nothing. Now, let's look at the second person. This person is all about consistency. They have a simple goal: walk for 30 minutes every single day. On Tuesday, they do it again. On Wednesday, even when they're tired after a long day at work, they put on their shoes and walk for just 15 minutes. It's not their best effort, but they show up. They do it every day. There are no dramatic bursts of effort, just a steady, unshakable commitment to a small, manageable habit. The Hare, representing intensity, is quick and impressive in short bursts. It relies on motivation and willpower, which are limited resources. The Tortoise, representing consistency, is slow and unimpressive at any single moment, but it never stops. In the world of fitness, we admire the Hare, but the results tell a different story. Intensity adds up to 8 hours a month. Consistency adds up to over 15, and it builds a habit. Let's look at the story of two friends, Sarah and Mark, who decided on New Year's Day that they wanted to get in shape. Sarah was all about intensity. She signed up for a high-intensity interval training class that met 3 times a week. The classes were super tough. For the first 2 weeks of January, she was the perfect student. She never missed a session and pushed herself to the max every time. Sore, tired, but proud. However, in the 3rd week, a busy project at work made her miss a Tuesday class. The guilt of missing it, combined with the fear of the next intense session, made it easier to skip Thursday's class too. Her perfect record was broken, and her motivation just crashed. Her gym membership card lay unused, a small reminder of a failed attempt. She felt frustrated and let down. She waited for another burst of motivation, stuck in the same old cycle. Mark, on the other hand, chose a path of being steady. His goal was simple and almost ridiculously small: to do 10 push-ups every morning right after getting out of bed. The first morning, it took him less than a minute. It didn't feel like a workout. He didn't sweat. There was no big achievement, but he did it. The next morning, he did it again. And the day after that, some mornings he did 15. Other mornings, he struggled to finish 10. But he always did his 10. He never missed because it was incredibly easy to start. As the weeks went by, the habit grew into a 15-minute bodyweight circuit, over 900 push-ups without needing a gym. He was stronger, had more energy, and most importantly, he now saw himself as someone who works out. One of the biggest roadblocks to a healthy journey is an all or nothing mindset. This is the voice in your head that says, if I can't do my full hour-long workout, I might as well do nothing. I ate one cookie, so my diet is ruined. I'll start over tomorrow. This chase for perfection is a trap. It sets an impossibly high standard and frames your journey like walking on a tightrope. The pressure to be perfect is paralyzing. Think about driving from New York to Los Angeles. You will hit traffic, take wrong turns, maybe get a flat tire. Turning around at the first setback is silly. The truth is, progress isn't a straight line. It's messy, imperfect, and beautiful. Some days you're strong. Other days you're tired or sick. The win on those days is simply showing up. Doing something is better than nothing. A 10-minute walk is infinitely better than no walk at all. Adopt the philosophy of never missing twice. You know, it's easy to overestimate one big moment and underestimate the small daily improvements. We think massive success needs massive action, but the real power is in compounding. Habits work like money. A 1% improvement each day seems tiny in the short term, but a 1% daily improvement over a year becomes about 37 times better. The early results are disappointing. The work isn't wasted. It's stored in the plateau of latent potential. Like heating an ice cube, nothing, and then it melts at 32 degrees. Breakthroughs come long after you start. Focus on the path, not the exact spot you're in. Repeat the small wins, and the difference will become amazing. Knowing that consistency is key is one thing. Actually putting it into your life is another. The goal isn't to rely on willpower or motivation, because those feelings can be pretty unreliable. The goal is to build a system of habits that makes showing up the easiest choice. First, make your habits super small. Use the 2-minute rule. A new habit should take you less than 2 minutes. Read before bed becomes read one page. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes get out my yoga mat. The whole point is to get good at just showing up. A habit needs to be set in place before you can make it better. Once it's automatic, it will be easier for you to add more to it. Stack your new habit right on top of an old one. The formula is, after current habit, I will new habit. After I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. After I take off my work shoes, I will put on my workout clothes. Set up your surroundings for success. Make the things you want to do easy and the things you don't want to do hard. Get your running gear ready the night before. Let your environment push you forward, making consistency feel like it takes no effort at all. No matter how steady you are, you'll eventually have a bad day. You'll get sick, you'll go on vacation. Work will take all your energy. You'll skip a workout. You'll eat a whole pizza. This isn't failing, it's being human. The moment you mess up is a really important crossroads. One path leads to guilt and giving up. The other to being kind to yourself and trying again. A streak isn't the most important thing. Your identity is. Are you the kind of person who works out regularly? One missed workout doesn't change that. One mistake is an exception. 2 is the start of a new habit. If you skip a workout, do something, anything the next day. Vote for your new identity. Forgiveness is a strategy. Oops, I ate a donut. For lunch, I'll have a salad. Move on quickly. In a world that cares so much about numbers and results, it's easy to measure the wrong things. These numbers show up later and can be discouraging at first. Measure the process. Focus on what you can control, showing up. Put an X on the calendar every time you do your habit. Don't break the chain. Celebrate your consistency with simple, fitting rewards. Teach your brain that showing up feels good. We have talked about doing things really hard versus doing them steadily, and how even small, imperfect actions lead to growth. Your journey isn't a race. It's a way of living that you do every day. Pick one thing. Make it so small you can't say no. This is your way into being consistent.